Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers Newark Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
Okay, so thank you so much, ladies, for setting this up and for everybody for being here week after week after week. It takes practice. If we actually want to change things in our lives, it takes practice. Okay, so today we are in water element. The color is orange, second chakra, and the mantra that I've chosen to work with is, I am deeply nourished by the healing spring in the center of my being. I am deeply nourished by the healing spring in the center of my being. This is a mantra that from my teacher Jennifer Reese. So often I go through her notes and I pick something from her. Okay, so let's start with the physical practice. And then we're going to move on to the guided meditation. So when we practice, first, setting my space or organizing my space is helpful. So my space where I practice is this corner of my living room. That's where I have my stuff. And I try to clear the area so I feel that this is clean and clear and a good place to practice. Okay, finding your seat, choosing the chair, finding the seat, sitting up tall. If you'd like, you can bring your awareness to your feet. Maybe you lift the heels and the toes, reminding yourself of your connection to earth. And then coming to stillness. If you'd like, you can place your hands on your knees, gently move the knees from side to side. Open and close. And then back to neutral. Maybe shift your awareness to your sitting bones. Just notice the two sitting bones connecting to the chair to the floor to the building, the foundation of the building to earth, and then to all the people on this other side of this earth that might have a completely different perspective from you. From the sitting bones, if you'd like, you could bring your awareness to your back body, up to your shoulders. And then find that point in your midbrain, third eye, midbrain. And then all the way up to the crown of the head. And then if you want to, you can place your hands on your kidneys or somewhere on your back body, on your kidneys. And then breathe into your hands. Breathing into your back body, breathing into your hands. Maybe even breathing into your kidneys. You could imagine your two kidneys as two small puddles, and you fill those kidneys with water. Every breath is water. And eventually There's so much water that it flows over and fills your entire back body with water, creating a large lake in your body. Every breath brings more nourishing, healing water to your back body. And then if you want to, you can release your hands down to your lower back. Breathe into your lower back. And then finding your the pelvic halves, the two back pelvic halves. Breathe into your hands in your two back pelvic halves. And then in between you have the sacrum. In between the pelvic halves you have the sacrum. So maybe place your hands on your sacrum and breathe into the sacrum. And then release your hands. Bring your awareness back to your sitting bones and gently transfer the weight from side to side, from sitting bone to sitting bone. You can keep on doing this, or if you want to, you could start making circles. Maybe bringing your awareness to your navel, maybe even placing your hand on your navel, and notice how the navel is moving as you are creating circles. You can go one way, you can go the other way, or you can move in a completely different way. And then coming back to stillness, bring big toes to touch, heels slightly apart, Tadasana feet. And then lifting that right knee off the floor, making big circles, big circle with that knee, opening up the hip joint. So in water element, we spend a lot of time in the hips. And then stepping out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips together, lengthen the spine. You can stay here, or if you want to, you can place the fingertips on the floor. The tendency here is that the knees collapse in, so gently to resist that and bring the knees back up. If you want to, you can walk your hands forward. Inhale, come back up, lift that right foot and find figure four. If you want to, you can use your fingers and place the fingers in between the toes. And then point and flex the foot. Point and flex the foot a few times. And then if you want to, you can use the elbow to gently guide that knee out wide. Find the tightness, breathe into it. Imagine your breath as healing water, nourishing, rinsing, cleaning, whatever needs to be rinsed, cleaned, and healed in your body. If you want to, you can put some movement into it, maybe circles, maybe leaning forward, just moving a little bit, helping you to open up your body. And then slide the knees together, right arm under left, and then wrap the arms around you. Wrap your own arms around you. And release back to neutral. Big toe to touch, heels slightly apart. Left knee comes up, making big circles, one way and then the other way. Stepping out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips to fingertips, lengthen the spine. If you'd like, you can place the fingertips on the floor, maybe walk them forward, and then bring the knees back, resist the forward collapse. Inhale, come back up. And then left foot on right knee. Maybe put the finger in between the toes. To open up the toes, and then point and flex. Point and flex the foot. Point and flex. Using that elbow to gently guide that knee out wide, maybe lean forward, maybe add some movement, whatever works for you. We are all different, and you will find a way that works for you. And then slide the knees together, left arm under right. Wrap your arms around yourself. Wrap your own arms around yourself. And then release. And then find the sternum. Find the sternum, that big bone that protects the heart. Find the sternum, and then move up to the manubrium, the little joint in between the collarbones. If you want to, you can place one hand on your back, and then breathe into your back body again. Filling the lake in your back body. Imagine your breath as water. Every inhale, you bring nourishing, healing water into your back body. And then the lake rises up, expands, and travels out through your entire body to nourish, rinse, clean, and heal. And then release. Okay, we're going to get ready to stand up. So I'm going to bring the feet a little bit closer to the chair. And then let's do some chair lifts, actually. So I'm going to lean forward and up, and then come back down again. And let's do that a few times. Up and down. Up and down. And maybe coming into a floating chair. So bending the knees and just gently touch the chair, and then come back up like an inch. Building some strength in your upper legs. Maybe bounce a little bit up and down. Maybe you like to jump. And then coming back down and up. And then eventually coming up all the way up to standing. Okay, so let's do a sun A version. Big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Okay, inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step back to plank posture. Now use your feet. So point and flex, point and flex. Open up the calf muscle. And then bend both knees and elbows. Bend a bit both knees and elbows, and move forward and back. Forward and back. Eventually finding down dog. Inhale and lift that right leg up. Open up the hip, bend the knee. And then start making circles here. If you want to, you can imagine that you have a crayon on your knee and draw a big, wide circle with that knee. You can go one way and then the other way, trying to draw a big circle with that knee. And then eventually step that foot outside the chair, release the back knee down, and then come on your forearms for lizard posture. Now, I can push, I'm gonna walk my foot fairly close to the chair, and then I'm gonna push this knee into the chair. I'm gonna push into the chair. That squares off the hips. So I keep my hips square. With my hips square, I can gently maybe walk that back foot further back, release down. But I'm really gonna push this knee into the chair so I keep my hips square. I'm gonna stay here for a little while. Find the tightness. Use the breath as healing, nourishing water. And then from here, I'm gonna lean into my forearms, straighten the back knee and step back into forearm plank. Just standing in forearm plank for a moment, and then walk your feet up towards the chair, armpits towards your feet for dolphin posture. And then bend the knees and come back up to standing. And we're gonna try the other side. Big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, back to plank posture. Point and flex the feet, opening up the calf muscles. Come to stillness, bend knees and elbows, and then move back and forth a few times. And then eventually finding down dog. Inhale and lift that left leg up, open up the hips, bend the top knee. And then start making circles with that knee. If you want, you can imagine that you have a crayon on that knee, drawing a big circle. You can go one way, you can go the other way. And then stepping outside the chair, step outside the chair, release the back knee down and push into that chair, push into the chair with the knee. That's gonna square off the hips, squaring off the hips. With square hips, I can gently release down. I'm gonna keep the hips square. I'm gonna push in to the chair with my left knee, keeping the hips square. We're gonna stay here for a few moments. Stay where you are. You can, if you want to, you can close your eyes. Find the spots that feels tight and then breathe into it. Imagine your breath being nourishing water. And then from here, straighten the back knee, step back to forearm plank. And then walk your feet up towards the chair, armpits towards your feet for dolphin posture. And then bend the knees and come back up to standing. Okay, now we're gonna try something new today. So hold on to the chair and then release the knees down. Keep the toes tucked. We're gonna do a flowing sequence a few times. So starting here like in tabletop, I'm gonna inhale and then exhale, release the hips towards my heels for like a child's posture. Inhale back up to tabletop. Exhale to down dog. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale to child. Inhale to table. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to table. Exhale, child. Inhale to table. Exhale, down dog. A few more times. Inhale to table. Exhale, child. Inhale to table. Exhale, down dog. One last time. Inhale to table. Exhale, child. Inhale to table. Exhale, down dog, and then stay in down dog for a few moments. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, jump wide. And then bend one knee, bend the other, opening up the hips in another way. Now we have some options here. We're going to do Malasana and wide-legged forward fold. So there are two ways of doing it. I'll show the harder one first. So I'm going to bring the feet like so the feet are pointing out, and I have my feet on the mat. And then I'm going to bend down. I'm going to hold on to the chair coming into Malasana. If this is okay, I'm going to show. And then from here, if you want to, you can come down to a wide-legged forward fold using the chair that way. If this is too much for you, you can do Malasana this way. Toes are pointing out, and then you can bring your arms down towards the floor. And then straighten the legs and keep the hands on the floor. That's another possibility. Okay. So if this is what I'm choosing to do, toes are pointing out, and I'm slowly getting down into Malasana. Hip opener. Trying to get those knees back. And then from here, straighten the knees, use the chair, tall spine, and then lean forward. The other version, toes are pointing out, bringing my hands down to the floor, using my elbows to keep those knees wide. Opening up the hips. And then from here, straightening the knees to come to a wide-legged forward fold. So whatever version you're choosing, stay in that place for a while. And then inhale and come back up and come back up to standing. Okay. One last sequence. Big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Shift the weight into your left leg, the right heel comes off the floor. Take a big step back, open up the pelvic halves. Warrior two. From here, move your hands forward, lift that back leg for Ardha Chandrasana. Dip the toe in the water, lift it up. Dip the toe in the water, lift it up. And then bend the top leg. Bend the top leg. You can stay here, or if you want to, you can take the bind. So the right fingers will hold on to the right toes. And then release back to the floor. Come up to stand. Try the other side. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Shift the weight to your right leg, left heel comes off the floor. Take a big step back, open up the pelvic half, finding warrior two. Transfer your weight forward, lift the back leg, dip the toe in the water, lift it up. Dip the toe in the water, lift it up. And then stay there, bend the top leg or knee. Maybe take the bind. And then release back to the floor, bend the knees, come up to standing. And the last thing we're going to do is child's posture. Hands on the chair. And then bring the knees wide, big toes to touch, and then let the hips touch, move towards the heels. You can keep your arms and head on the floor, or on the chair, or if you want to, you can come all the way down to the floor. And then inhale and come back up, forearms on the chair, tuck the toes, engage the core, lift the knees off the floor, walk the feet towards the chair, bend the knees, and then come back up to standing. Okay, let's move on to the Yoga Nidra part. So Yoga Nidra, most of us practice it laying down. It's nice to have a bolster under your knees that gives the lower back a break. Maybe put on socks or a sweater or a blanket because you're going to be laying still for like 25 minutes and the body gets cold. Okay, so let's see. Okay, and just as a reminder, this is a guided meditation. So I am suggesting places for you to go. That does not mean that you have to follow me. You can say thank you, but no thank you. I'm going to go elsewhere. So you are in charge. And that is true for any guided meditation. It's simply not a recommendation, it's not simply an idea. And you choose if you think it's a good idea or not. Okay, here we go. Let your body sink down into the floor. Feel the earth underneath you, holding and supporting you, rising up to softly cradle you. At this time, nothing else matters. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Remain still for deep nourishment. Repeat these words in your mind. I am awake and aware. I am awake and aware. Now, imagine yourself in a sacred place that feels peaceful and friendly, protected and supported. It may be outside in nature, somewhere inside, or an imaginary place. This is your inner sanctuary. Feel yourself here and begin to see all the details around you. The light, the colors, any objects. See yourself in this sacred place. Sensing the comforting energy. Supportive, calm, and protected. At any time during practice, you can guide yourself back here. If anything feels odd or too intense, go back to your inner sanctuary. Your inner sanctuary is always here. It is a part of who you are. Now, go inward, deep inside, and listen. Listen to your heart. Deep listening. What does it say? What is your heart's deepest longing? What does your heart desire? Your heart may speak in words, colors, songs, images, or something else. Allow your heart to speak its truth. From your heart's longing, create a positive statement in present tense as though it's already happening. Now, state your heart's wish 3 times to yourself as the truth. Bring your awareness to your belly. Notice your navel center. Notice the expansion on the inhale and the soft release on the exhale. Navel rising on the inhale yielding to earth on exhale. From your navel center, bring awareness to your pelvis, hip bones, upper legs, knees, lower legs, ankles, top of your feet, all 10 toes. Notice your heels. Feel the calves, back of knees, hamstrings, hip bones, and lower belly. From your lower belly, bring your awareness to the back of your pelvic halves, sacrum, lower back, kidneys, lungs, heart, sternum, manubrium. Notice collarbones, shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, top of your hands, all 10 fingers. Sense palm of your hands, inner arms, armpits, shoulders. Bring awareness to your throat center. Notice the back of your tongue. Roof of your mouth. Upper teeth. Lower teeth. Tip of your tongue. Notice sensation in your mouth, receiving taste. Shift your attention to your ears. Witness your ears hearing, receiving sound. Bring awareness to your nose. Feel tip of your nose. Notice breath passing through both nostrils, receiving smell. Notice your eyes. Feel your eyes as radiant wisdom, receiving sight. Shift your awareness to your third eye, mid-brain. Notice light. Expand attention to your whole head. Notice the upper part of your body. Now, feel the lower part of your body. Shift your awareness to your back body, side of the body facing the ground, back body. And now, feel your front body, side of the body facing the sky, front body. Now, feel right arm and left leg, right arm and left leg together. Now, feel left arm and right leg, left arm and right leg together. Feel your whole body now, all parts together, all together as a whole. Feel your whole body. Now, notice breath in your back body. Breath filling your belly from the back. With every inhale, the lake in your belly grows wider and higher. Breath filling your belly like a river filling a lake. Now, imagine your body cool. Experience coolness in your body, like cold water flowing over you. Cool water in your body. Cool water, rinsing and cleaning. Now, imagine warmth in your body. Experience warmth in your body. Remember a time when you felt warm, like being in the sun. Body is warm, breath is cool. You sit on a buoy in the middle of the river. The water around you moves in ways unknown to you. Your legs and arms wrap around the post tightly. It's cold and windy. Ferries pass by, but no one sees you. You wait patiently. From far away, a paddleboarder approaches. Dressed for the rough weather, you can't see the paddler's face. Silently, the paddler waves you over. You release your grip around the post and transfer over to the board. You sit cross-legged in the front. Behind you stands the confident paddler. Water splashes on your knees, and the tide and stream move the board in unexpected ways. Stroke by stroke, you get closer to shore. In a protected inlet, the water calms down. Silently, you float towards the beach. You uncross your legs and put your feet in the water. You shift your weight from the board to your legs. You turn and wave to the paddler. The hooded garment protects the paddler's face from the rain. With a raised hand and a nod, the paddler turns around and heads back out. Fog rolls in from the sea. You walk up the shore to find shelter. Everything around you is wrapped in milky white humidity. You lay down to rest. Light rain falls on your face. You lick your lips. You wake up to an orange sunrise. The bright sun clears the fog away. You stand up and walk in towards the woods. The birds are awake and aware. You listen to their songs as you search for food. Everywhere you turn, you see fruits hanging from the trees. You reach your hands out, choose, and pick the gifts from the garden. You smell the fruits and enjoy tastes new to you. You follow a winding trail. In between the trees, you catch a glimpse of a tall mountain. The top of the mountain is still covered with snow. You reach out your hand and dig your fingers deep into the cold white cover. The heat from your body melts the snow to water. You bring your hand closer to your mouth and taste the drops. You hear running water. You follow the sound, and soon you see a spring emerging from the mountainside. The water is clear, cold, and fresh. You take a few sips and then you put your ear to the rock. From deep within the mountain, you hear a roaring river. You look around to find a way in. With arms stretched out wide, you move carefully on a thin ledge. You lean towards the rock and step by step you cross the path. There, on the other side, you find a small opening. You duck your head and crawl into a dark tunnel. Soon, the narrow space opens up to a large cave. Melting snow cascades down the mountainside and falls into a deep lake. Eagerly, you get down on your knees to taste the dark water. With every swallow, you feel your body healing. Each cell gets what it needs. You fill up your internal spring, and drop by drop, the nourishing water rinses, cleans, and heals. You are deeply nourished by the healing spring in the center of your being. Now, remember your heart's longing. The positive statement you set at the beginning of practice. Repeat it 3 times to yourself as though it's already happening. Notice all the space around you. Sense the space within you. Feel the sense of calm confidence, whole and complete. Notice that part of you that is the witness. The one who observes your body, breath, and journey. And now, begin to notice thoughts and feelings flowing through your awareness again. Notice your breath. Feel its rhythm and pace. Invite your breath to deepen now. Feel yourself reawakening. Become aware of your body, your physical body resting on earth. Sense your hands, Wiggle your fingers. Notice your feet. Wiggle your toes. Gently rock your head from side to side, a slow awakening. Take a deep breath into your belly and let it go. Slowly roll to your left hand side. Press your hands into the ground and come up to a seated position. Then take a full breath in and let it go. Bring your hands up in Anjali Mudra, holding your own heart in between your hands with love and compassion. I am deeply nourished by the healing spring in the center of my being. And gently bow your head in gratitude for this practice, thousands of years old. Thank your inner guide, your past, present, and future teachers, and all the people that are joining you on this journey. Allow the eyes to slowly open, raise your gaze, and thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.